I had a contretemps, I think that's probably the best word, on the Substack. It's a strange site. I write. I don't know that I like to write. My relationship to writing and by accident to Substack is that I'm trying to understand my relationship to life, the world I live in, and what it might be but isn't. So it's a process. I guess the writing forces me to think or to dig. It feels more like digging. That's really what it is. So the fact that I'm surrounded by people, so I'm digging and I like to do it like this. I like to record it because I get to then try and express something really only for its own self to get it said. Honestly, it's not attached to anything more than that. So I'm when I'm on Substack, I'm dealing with a lot of people who write to be writers, and they want to be subscribed to, and they want to make money, and they want to be, as they've said, often in frustration. I get no likes. Doesn't anybody read me? Yeah, so I'm not doing it for that. I don't, yeah, that's, and not for nothing. My thoughts, their expression, and therefore their change, the change of my thoughts, are very important to me, vital to me, because almost nothing I see in my world around me makes sense. I don't think it makes much sense to anybody else, which might be why we have Substack and why we have invented God, or we pay people, media figures, the Chris Hedges of this world, the Owen Joneses, the James O'Briens of this world. We tune into them to say, make sense of this for me. And I, of course, I take what they say with it. I check it out against what I already am thinking about. That's actually what happens. When they agree with me, I'm happy, but that usually comes to an end pretty quickly. And one of the things that comes to an end is this constant complaining and demonizing that it's somebody else's fault. Right? That's my motivation to writing. There are lots of things that make sense to me now after writing, and so that makes my life basically much fuller and more enjoyable. That is my motivation in writing, is to get it out. So Substack's not a good fit. Substackers want to be read. What is it that it is not what it might be? It's a world now where every country and every political party in every country is prioritizing their militaries. Bad sign. Either their own or the defense mechanisms they belong to, their treaty organizations, their NATOs, etc., etc. It is a world of enemies threatening from within and from without. That's it out there. And I don't live in the world of these imaginings. And they are imaginings. There's nothing either good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. And I write to clarify why I feel this way, why my world is not imagined this way. I have the same evidence as everyone else, which is the largest, most thorough and varied cache of evidence in history. Just imagine, for thousands of years, we went to church to be told what's going on in the world. We had no thoughts of our own. It's a world of teams and individuals taking pride in and finding sustenance in their team membership. Are they the manager, the center forward, the quarterback, the owner? The Kansas City Chiefs, the football team, American football, are champions of their league. The owner held the trophy last week and thanked the fans. Then the tight end thanked the fans. It was very stirring to see this thing. They all cheered. The fans were still in the freezing cold stadium celebrating their win. I think the owner and the tight end know that the fans on some level have made them very rich. They have employed them, in fact. And the team that wins, or even the one that loses but entertains still, provides a great service. Absolutely. So my contretemps opposer said he is proud of the achievements of his culture, of his team, European that is. Well, that's the thing. And sustaining for him, important and vital to him. And I knew in the instant that he was therefore impenetrable. And I respected him for being able to say it and rooting his defense of colonialism because he respected the achievements of his civilization. But the necessity of this pride to this man made him impenetrable. So, I think, why don't I feel this pride? Or do I feel a lack of pride? To be fair, so somebody might say to me, well, you're a self-hating European. And I'd have to imagine that would feel like something, and it doesn't. To be fair, his pride might be just a response to the critique, the current critique of the world's colonizers, which is the first time thing. The sailings of 1492 have been called many things until very recently. The best one, it began the age of discovery. I've heard it called the age of adventure. It was and still is many things. The discoveries were at first a place to send criminals, second sons of aristocrats, religious malcontents, creators of second Jerusalems, utopians, word of God spreaders, and gold hunters mostly. All of these reasons contain what might be admirable to many, or to some. Not to me. But here's the deal. As many a rabbi has said recently, our faith is in us, not in any land, which is a pretty unique way of seeing in the West. My contretenteur spoke of his pride in his people by way of shaming me. In other words, aren't you proud of your own? No, I'm not. But then I'm proud of nothing. Or of almost everything. My prides are scattered far and wide. As he presents pride, it is an unnecessary feeling to me. And if a marvelous thing is said and done in a place where my society isn't, I'm not envious. I enjoy England winning the World Cup or Test cricket. I even feel a little diminished when they lose so often as they do, especially if I'm a little low at the time myself, but it is vestigial. It's sport. I have favorite teams, usually because a certain player captures something from me. But pride? No. Not of the Industrial Revolution. I love the inventions, but I know their ill use, and would feel the same had James Watt been James Woo. Anyone who knows me has a sense how vital to me Shakespeare is. He is a great poetic writer, but I know as well he is a propagandist par excellence. I have that awareness as I work his plays. The achievements of writers of my civilization are not me. I am not of or part of them. Or the great Gothic cathedrals are not there because a member of my family way back designed them, or the wealthy funder of the construction. They are there because all those stonemasons and glassmakers did a great job. And like I say, they could have been French, they could have been German, it makes no difference to me. It seems that some of us are greatly motivated to be the men or women credited with doings, like Queen Elizabeth I for beating the Armada. Well, it had nothing to do with her. So, the argument just evaporated. Once pride hit me, hit the fan, I knew there was no resolution. There was no battlefield on which to compete. He'd be shooting guns and I'd be doing kung fu. If he missed, I win. He'd need to kill me to win. Just need to stay alive. I just need to stay alive to win. Yes, it is Hamas / Zionism and Bruce Lee. So suddenly.